delighted to welcome you to our inaugural Climate Risk Summit. This is an official part of the program.
It's not really about which government you have. I mean, this is bipartisan, cross-party. It doesn't really matter. It's a part of reality that you have to deal with, whether you like it or not.
I think we are in a cycle. I think we are at a new inflection point, and that there is some really quite impressive growing movement, momentum behind action on climate change. I think the goalposts have shifted, and so with shifting goalposts comes shifting emotions in response to that. I think we're now just building a very different world to the one that we were building towards 10 years ago, if that makes sense.
And the aha moment for the Obama administration on the impact side of climate change was Superstorm Sandy. There's an iconic picture of that night when Manhattan went dark, and there's one building that's lit up. It was the headquarters of Goldman Sachs. So they were an island of resilience. And that's the problem systemically. Everyone is planning for their asset.
I think The Economist, like National Geographic, has a strong role in communicating the issues and showing the implications of inaction and trying to get businesses more involved.
There's a lack of comprehensive risk recognition. So we see by region, by industry, within regions, within industries, a very heterogeneous picture of awareness. Utilities in California are very aware of the wildfire risk, for example. Eastern Seaboard aware of hurricanes. But there's definitely a lack of comprehensive, across-the-board risk assessment. The fabric that I depend on, can I get my people to work, do I have power? I think the multitude and complexity and multidimensionality of the risks that private sector faces is insufficiently recognized.
People know what to do from the point of view of policy, and people know what to do from the point of view of financing. It's the human motivational factors that are the issue. Political will at the level of politicians, and attitudes and norms at the level of the public.
I think what the Economist can do uniquely in this space is bring a very thoughtful approach to how this will practically affect the economy and a number of other stakeholders. Climate change is here now, and so thinking about how it can affect the economy and finance, but also society in more than a short-term perspective is something the Economist can really do well.
So they're not looking 1 year ahead, 2 years ahead, that they're looking decades ahead and thinking about what might happen over that period and using that to inform different decisions today.
Unlike previous crises, we're going into a collateral values-based crisis. This is a big systemic issue. So we're seeing it in flood insurance, we're seeing it in fire insurance. We're going to a very significant hard price of carbon throughout every asset. And if you do put, $100, $200 per ton price of carbon into your dashboard, you're going to have a huge market puke.
You may have seen the producer responsibility directives in Europe, where the creator of waste, for example, tyres or cars or packaging, they have to finance the recovery of it, sometimes over half of the waste they create. One of the things that I'd love to start to see Brussels play with is BP, Shell, Exxon and others finance the recovery of the waste that they're responsible for creating in the form of carbon capture and storage. And it's only going to happen through a mandate. It will only happen through changing the public policy environment.
You guys in the room are the guys who are going to be able to come up with the innovations that will solve this, and some of them will work and some of them won't work, and that's why it's so important to harness private capital.
It's amazing to be encountered with such serious minds who are approaching this in a rigorous, purposeful, very dedicated manner. And so I left more optimistic just knowing the human capital and the intellectual capital that's going into this problem. And it is a huge problem, but it's great to know how many people are so hard at work.